What's going on, guys? Today we are going to talk about a fragrance from the house of 50 Cent. Celebrity fragrances. They're all over the place. A lot of you guys don't hear about them often, but due to the rise of YouTube influencers and things like that, we see them pop up into the marketplace. But this fragrance by 50 Cent was dropped quite a long time ago, 2009. But is it good, and should you have it on your radar? We'll find out here. Strap up, let's go for that ride. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the very late evening. Today from the house of, well, I told you guys 50 Cent, but I'm going to read you a little bit of background information here in a second, but this is 50 Cent's Power. Pretty dope top to a bottle. The bottom is somewhat generic, but I do like this kind of chamber. It's got a very military gradeness to it. 50 Cent has a show called Power. Very popular. In light of that, a fragrance came out. I'm going to read you guys some brief ChatGPT DL information. So, Power by 50 Cent is a men's fragrance launched in 2009 as a part of the rapper/entrepreneur 50 Cent's entry into the world of celebrity perfumes. It was developed in collaboration with Lighthouse Beauty. So, maybe it's a collaboration 50 Cent Lighthouse Beauty house release, and created by master perfumer Harry Fremont. It marked one of the first major fragrance launches under 50 Cent's personal brand. The scent debuted around the same period when 50 Cent's profile was rising not just in music, but in film, TV, and business ventures, so the name Power fits his bold public persona. That makes me curious, though. When did the TV series Power come out? So that came out in 2014. So kind of like a prolific prophecy, so to speak, because he named the fragrance Power, like, what is it, 5-6 years before the show Power even came out. Now, if I remember correctly, I was a big 50 Cent fan when he first came out, especially in the mixtape days. And I want to say he had an album called Power or Power of a Dollar or something like that. I feel like Power was some kind of phraseology in the album releases and rollouts that may have stuck with him that led him to this release. So I guess this release truly has nothing to do with the TV series, but nonetheless, it is classified as let me check here for you. Classified as an aromatic spicy fragrance for men. Again, dropped in 2009. Has a 3.85 out of 5 rating. Only 330 votes. So we're going to give it a more hopeful positivity toward, whether or not it's good or not. We'll use our own noses here. And let's give it a spray. Now, 50 has got into a bunch of different ventures. He did the Vita Water collab and made like $100 million off that. Tons of music. Get Rich or Die Trying, one of the biggest albums of all time. Got into shoes. He had the G Unit shoes. I remember that, especially what they were competing with I think S. Carter's or something from the Jigga Man. But he's been always into a ton of things. And then eventually in the latter part of his career, approaching 50, literally, he started getting into film and stuff like that. So I haven't seen him be a slouch on anything. I mean, the purple Vita Water was spectacular. The G Unit sneakers weren't the moon and the stars, but they definitely didn't suck. And I'm excited to see this fragrance here. What I love about this is it's grown. It's grown, but very fresh, very natural, a little bit synthetic, but pretty natural, surprisingly, for a fragrance. A lot of celebrities jump on the bandwagon of a kind of Baccarat or Eros type of style. um, or one of your typical designers. This is heavy in petitgrain. I can tell that right off the bat. I'm starting to get very familiar with mosses and petitgrains and artemisia and stuff like that. Wouldn't be surprised if artemisia was in this as well, but I definitely get this heavy dose of petitgrain. It almost feels completely like a petitgrain artemisia type of combo. It's green, it's super fresh, it's almost minty cool, you know, so it doesn't, its grassy mossiness doesn't lean like amouage-ish or even just like old gentleman, or it's not even complex. It's quite simple. It's like a mass appeal take on a airy cold green profile, which is really nice. I mean, petitgrain on its own has got a very soapy cleanness, but it also has a sweetness to it. Man, this is, you know, it's very generic in weight, but it smells very good. I actually really like it. I think if you're a younger guy trying to have more of a, you have to wear a suit type of feel, or prom night, I wouldn't wear it on prom, because on prom, you're probably going to go for something more sweet and fresh to make that intimacy. So maybe more business, you know, maybe your first real job interview type of thing. But for my grown men, like 30 and up, this feels very much like a good scent. I mean, it's not blowing me away, but unique in the marketplace, especially in 2009. On skin, it feels, again, soapy and clean, but in a very herbal, green, mossy way, but very mass appeal take on it because it's a little bit sweet, the tiniest bit sweet, like 3 out of 10. And it feels a lot like an Artemisia petitgrain type of scent, almost completely. There's not a ton of complexity, but it is such a good scent, and it's not super generic. It is quite mature. Surprising scent for 50 Cent here to pick this, because it's very grown and mature, but it has this airy, fresh quality to it that I really feel like could be quite ageless. Again, this is a fragrance for men. Let's go ahead and switch over here and look at some of the information. My mouse is so jacked up. I need to buy. Oh, look at this. I am so happy with myself here. Top notes, pepper, petitgrain, and artemisia. And middle notes, woods, coriander, nutmeg. Maybe that's what's giving a little bit of that sweet woody feel. I definitely get the like woods, but it's very, again, airy, cold, dries down fairly warm and neutral, but the initial blast feels kind of like you kind of get this cold gust air into it. And then in the base, patchouli, musk, and oakmoss, very grown, but fresh grown. This is beautiful. I'm very, very surprised at this fragrance. I could just see like my dad would love this. I like it. Now, it's not an amouage, but you know, it's like the McDonald's version of an amouage type of fragrance. Again, super green, super woody. The pepper and spices almost, you know, maybe you get a little bit more of it initially, but that really dries down super quick to this just kind of soapy essence. But the soapy essence doesn't feel like Lever 2000 or Dove or anything like that. It's its own green scent. You know, it's kind of like not Sasquatch, but there's those Sasquatch soaps or whatever where they have like beach tar and all that stuff. It's like it's a scent they would come out with, but very mass appealy. Like it's almost like they took a bunch of earthy, mature masculine notes and watered them quite a bit down to feel more like the freshness that you would get in like a Dior Sauvage or something. I do feel that the formulation is a bit watery, but I'm not mad at it. And what I mean by that is like there doesn't seem to be a lot of dimension to it. It's like the scent profile is trying to have dimension, but the weight of the juice feels somewhat watered down a bit. But, you know, I think this is an EDP, functions to me like somewhere in between an EDP and an EDT. But man, I'm still just blown away by the scent profile. So mature for 50 to drop something like this. And this is great. Price on this bad boy. Let's just look real quick. Looks like you can only get it on eBay now. What are people pushing it for? Okay, so you can get some small pieces for cheap. The full bottle's going for like 35. I'd cop it as like a memorabilia. I mean, I have it, but I'm actually sending this to my dad because I want to see what he would think about it. Very good release from him. I'm actually quite pleased with this. Let's go through some usual suspects. Any season, any reason. This feels job specific. You know, anything work related, your daily work driver, any field of work, truly, because it's a nature type of scent. But it feels quite mass appealy. It's not so nature that it's like nature. It's almost like a nice McDonald's bottled up palatable version of nature. If this was a soap and a body wash, I could just see people eating this up. I think the age for this feels about 25 and up indefinitely. 25 and down, this would be more like your funeral, first job interview, not necessarily prom night, but an occasion where you'd wear a suit. Like, let's say you played for the basketball team. You know, I used to play ball, and we used to have to wear our uniforms. We used to have to wear suits for different meetings, and sometimes we'd have to wear suits during away games, like how we'd show up and then we'd change down and stuff like that. I would rock this all day long in that setting. Even not necessarily a gym scent, but a PE scent. You come out of PE, you go to class. I could see this just rocking heavy. I mean, it's really nice. It's mature, but it's McDonald's mature. So I like that because it feels very ageless. The Petitgrain, so nice and clean. The essence of this is clean, super palatable, mature, mass appeal, man's scent. You know, it's not sweet, but there is a sweetness in it. There's like a nature sweetness to it. This is good, man. For a celebrity fragrance, I give it an 8. Give it an 8 out the gate. Now, longevity is definitely going to be a little bit of a concern. I could totally see this being a fragrance that doesn't go for more than like 2 to 4 hours, truthfully. But that opening is just special. And I feel like this is a scent you'd put in your console and just take with you. You know, you hit yourself with like 10 to 15 sprays before work, 10 to 15 sprays after work. This is a twice a day type of fragrance. But check out this bottle. You know, it's not the heaviest thing, but it's quite hefty. And this definitely feels like it's made of metal. Well, no, it's plastic, but I mean, it's hefty and cool fragrance. Definitely going to send it to Pop, see what he thinks. 8 out of 10 fragrance, man. Any season, any reason. I think it's more of an occasion-based fragrance. This sits kind of semi-formal for me. Upscale casual too. You know, if you're collared out for the day and you're running errands, nice masculine scent, man. I mean, it's just really nice, especially if you have like a really clean like body wash or soap. That's, you know, sometimes the green foresty type of smells with soaps and body washes tend to feel like very singular and very like too nature-esque. This is like when nature meets cologne, and it's just solid. So if you could have like a body wash or something that's more like natural and not too green and too outdoorsy, it would just go great with this. This will kind of give it a really nice lift. Price point's great. Under 30, 40 bucks for the 100 mil. I don't think you need 100 mil of this, but maybe you can make a case for it, because if it was a daily driver, you're spraying 10 to 15 times, you'd run through this. I'm very impressed by this celebrity fragrance. I need to get into some of the Nick Jonas ones with the Varvatos, I think he's collabed with. I'm not sure. But I want to get more into some celebrity fragrances. I've been able to at least have some resources to get into some, you know, rapper fragrances and singer fragrances and stuff. So we'll bring those to the channel for sure. 8 out of 10. We did occasions. Alternatives, I really don't know of any, truthfully. I mean, and at this price point, we don't even really need to discuss it. What would I compare it to? Nothing really. I mean, it feels homage-ish in terms of the maturity style of DNA that it's going for, but it's nothing near an homage. Compositionally, depth of field, the creativity. It's not the most creative, but it's disruptive in the marketplace, so it feels creative. Again, this came out in 2009, but to even smell it now, it feels disruptive in today's marketplace as well, because it's not, you know, I don't imagine this fragrance sold a lot, but it should have. I'm interested to look into that. Anyways, this was 50 Cent's collaboration called Power. Great scent. I don't know if you can try it or not, but if you guys find it for 20, 30 bucks and you're into collector's items, this would be nice to have on the shelf as a celebrity fragrance that is super wearable. I really do think this is like incredibly wearable. I think women would find this very sexy, classy, and masculine. And to not be a super sweet forward fragrance, and it's not that spicy despite the black pepper listing and all that. It's just it's almost like the the blue Versace Eros of the green profile, you know. So it's got this somewhat serious, but then freshness, then this sweetness, just super versatile. I mean, I see this being super versatile. Anyways, guys, let me know if you guys have tried this or any other rapper / celebrity fragrances you want me to try. Like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back, and I got to run, but I'm going to throw 2 videos up on the screen, left and right hand side, based off what you've been searching for that I think you'll be interested in. If you are into fragrance content at all, I review, I entertain, and I kit you guys out with all kinds of tricks and tips and resources so that you can make the best out of your journey, because I'm having a great time in this thing we call fragrance. So with that being said, hope you guys stay blessed, and until next time, peace.